Do you want all the downsides of buying an MP5, but none of the benefits? Do you want something that handles like a rifle, but sucks out of range?
Are you kidding me?
Were you that kid that wore shorts during winter for attention and wanting to be different? Then we've got the perfect product for you. Introducing the MP7, the forgotten middle child of SMGs. Nearly run out of ammo before you actually take down an enemy. Deal 99 and 8. Wish you bought an MP9 instead. For only $1,400, you too can throw away your money when you should be saving instead. Sucks at a long range. Sucks at a close range. What the fuck is the point of this thing? But call right now and we'll throw in a second MP7 absolutely free. Seriously, we have shelves of these things and we need to get rid of them. Nobody wants to buy them. Will not price match other SMGs. All sales are final. This is an SMG. The very middle of the road choice on both price and performance. Yet despite that, it sucks at both. So first, let's learn the very brief history of the MP7. The MP7 is new to the series of Counter-Strike and was added for the first time ever with the release of CSGO. The MP7 is one of the few guns in the game that has had exactly 0 individual updates to it. The only time the MP7 has ever been adjusted was when bulk changes were made to all the SMGs at once. That was, until quite recently, when the MP5 and MP7 were both adjusted. And coincidentally, my video on the MP7 was 90% done at the time. So this marks the first time in over 12 years that the MP7 has seen its first individual balance tweak. And this does confirm the fact that the MP5 and MP7 are basically the same gun. However, the biggest update to come out for the MP7 wasn't a change to the MP7 itself, but the fact that you could now replace this trash gun with the MP5. And just like that, the MP7 became a distant memory in everyone's mind. A once popular SMG that was later overshadowed by its younger brother. Just kidding, literally nobody bought this garbage before the MP5 came out. Now let's take a look at some of the creative crap people have had the misfortune of wasting time on creating. Right now the MP7 somehow has 37 skins, but I bet you couldn't name 3 of them right now if your life depended on it. Some of these amnesia-inducing artworks include Whiteout, I Have No Personality, Bloodsport, you seriously spent $100 on an MP7 skin? And Fade. While every other Fade skin costs hundreds, the fact that this one only costs $5 should tell you everything you need to know about this gun. Yeah, so that was from the old video. So slight correction here. The price for this skin has now tripled since the MP7 update. Yet, despite that, it's still 5 times cheaper than the next most expensive Fade skin. And that skin is a UMP. Now let's do a brief dive into the MP7 stats and learn just how useless it actually is compared to the competition. First, let's compare it to a cheaper and what should be an inferior SMG like the MP9. At close range, it has practically the same time to kill as the MP9. At medium range, it has the exact same time to kill as the MP9. So why exactly does it cost $150 more? Well, you see, that's because you're paying more for an HK logo. Now let's compare the stats to the SMG that truly matters, the MP5. So what exactly is the difference between these two guns? Now, the MP7 has the same fire rate, the same recoil pattern, the same accuracy, the same ammo count, and most importantly, the same price. However, the MP7 has 7% more damage. And the MP5 has 7% higher portability. So basically the same fucking gun.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Now let's learn how to use this overpriced paperweight effectively on the battlefield. I think this clip summarizes the experience of using the MP7 best.
87 and 6. Let's go. I almost killed him that time. He literally had enough time to jump over the railing and kill himself, rather than dying to this.
So, is it worth sacrificing the suppressor on the MP5 for the 7% higher damage on the MP7? My take is, these guns are so weak to begin with, you should take any advantage you can get with them. So go with the suppressor. But, does the MP7's whole whopping 7% extra damage solve the issue that plagued the MP5? In short, not really.
108! Look at that!
It will maybe take 1 less bullet to kill at an extreme range versus the MP5. So rather than taking 9 bullets to kill someone, it will now only take 8. Now, dealing 108 with an SMG isn't that bad in itself. It just becomes a problem when that SMG costs $1,400. Unlike the MP5 with its suppressor, the MP7 has very visible tracers when firing. Because of this, it does make it incredibly easy to spray with its low recoil. And naturally, the follow recoil crosshair is recommended when spraying with SMGs, and you really should have this on a keybind by now if you don't. The MP7 exists in an awkward state. Because of how easy it is to spray at close range, the MP7 can be incredibly lethal if you hit your headshots. But at the same time, if you don't and end up going for body shots instead, it becomes an absolute wet noodle of a gun with absolutely no close range DPS and negates the entire point of being an SMG in the first place. At this point, despite only being good at close range, it loses the 1v1 matchup to nearly every other close range gun, including Nova, XM1014, Sawed-Off, Op, and MP7. Wait, someone else actually bought an MP7? The MP7 is so forgetful that while filming for this video, accidentally labeled half my clips as MP9 instead of MP7. Barely adequate for anti-ecos, you better pray the T's rushing you didn't buy armor. At least with a Bison, you'd be getting over twice the ammo. Costing too much for an SMG, yet performing worse than the others, makes the MP7 the only socially acceptable gun to smurf with.
Oh, 3K! We got a 3K! 4K! Bro, let me ace. I need to ace with this gun. No! What I hit him for. 81 and 6.
So, is it actually better after the update? It's slowly growing on me. And yeah, its low recoil does make headshots nice at close range. But is it better than a Mac 10 for running and gunning? No. Is it worth $150 more than an MP9? Maybe. But at that point, once again, I'd just buy an MP5. Just like the MP5, I'm feeling a light C on this one. Yeah, it has its moments it can shine, but anything the MP7 does, you easily could have done with a cheaper SMG. So, that's all there is to using the MP7. Subscribe and tune in next time as I show you how to use the M249, and comment down below which guide you'd like to see next. And screw Valve for updating the Oh wait, no, I can't actually be mad about that, can I?